everybody. Welcome back to Planet X News, August 26th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark over at Wages World made a pretty outstanding and fascinating discovery yesterday, and I'll be sharing these photographs with you. The photographs were all processed yesterday, and they show some very unbelievable footage. However, I wanted to talk about the planet Mercury for a few minutes. A lot of you have questions all the time pertaining to how does this Planet X system or these objects survive so close to the sun? And I return the question back to you, well, how does Mercury survive that close to the sun? And over the last 2 weeks, I've had a lot of questions popping up in my own mind about Mercury, because I feel that based on everything that we know about the planet Mercury, it may hold some answers to the Planet X research. Now, knowing that Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system and nearest to the sun, Mercury is only slightly larger than the Earth's moon. From the surface of Mercury, the sun would appear more than 3 times as large as it does when viewed from Earth, and the sunlight would be as much as 7 times brighter. Despite its proximity to the sun, Mercury is not the hottest planet in our solar system. That title belongs to nearby Venus, thanks to its dense atmosphere. But Mercury, the fastest planet, zipping around the sun every 88 days. Now, I've mentioned many times before that over the last 3 years, I've documented the orbital path of these Planet X objects, or at least one of them, in a 28-day orbit. So that is highly possible. One of the other things that kind of attracted me to Mercury was its orbit. It has a very elliptical, kind of an egg-shaped orbit. It is very similar to the Planet X objects that are now orbiting our sun. So, back to Mercury for a few minutes here. Again, Mercury is very, very small. It has a radius of 1,516 miles. Mercury is also a little more than a third of the width of the Earth. The Earth, well, if the Earth were the size of a nickel, well, Mercury would be about as big as a blueberry, per se. From an average distance of 36 million miles from the sun, Mercury is 0.4 astronomical units away from the sun. So everybody thinks that Mercury is really, really, really close to the sun. But in fact, like I said, it has a kind of an egg-shaped elliptical orbit, and on an average, it is about 36 million miles from the sun. And again, it takes about 88 days for Mercury to orbit the sun. Mercury is kind of like our moon, and it's a rocky structure similar to the Earth. Scientists, again, I don't know how they come up with this, but they claim that Mercury was formed about 4.5 billion years ago when gravity, swirling gas, and dust collected together to form this small planet. I don't know, folks. That just doesn't compute with me, because Mercury has an iron core, similar to the Earth. Well, where did that iron come from? So, you see, mainstream science really doesn't always have the answers that we're looking for. Something else that I learned is that Mercury has an atmosphere. Well, they actually call it an ecosphere. And Mercury has a magnetosphere, a magnetic field. That I found to be very, very interesting. Mercury's magnetic field is offset relative to the planet's equator. Though Mercury's magnetic field at the surface has just 1% the strength of the Earth's, it interacts with the magnetic field of the solar wind to sometimes create intense magnetic tornadoes that funnel very, very fast and very, very hot. And it forms what is referred to as a hot solar wind plasma. And it literally makes a connection with the sun. The reason I'm bringing up Mercury today is in these photographs that you're about to see, you are going to see one of these Planet X objects literally make some form of a either plasma or electrical connection with the planet Venus. And I find that just absolutely intriguing. So sit back and check out these photographs. We had them processed yesterday. Not only do they reveal one object, but we did find another one. So you're going to be looking at two of these Planet X system objects. You're going to be looking at Venus and Earth way far in the background. These images came from the stereo spacecraft, and the set of cameras is the HI-1, or excuse me, the HI-2 camera. So sit back and check these out.
Well, that was some weird shit.
Wow.